Hi there, Sumeet. My name is Ellen, and I'll be correcting this essay rather, for you today. Let's take a look and see what you wrote. It's the topic about ex-prisoners. Here's what you said. Life after the word here is imprisonment, I-M, never remains the same as before, with some people coming out as better individuals, while some others still uh, remain the same, not ought to be the same, while others still remain the same. It is often believed that people who face jail time should counsel teenagers, not the teenagers, on the negative aspects of the dark side of the world. And I agree, while some argue that it should not be done. All right, this is a little awkward. Uh, let's see. So I would have rephrased this a little bit. It is often argued that yeah, I just kind of felt like you had too many things happening in this one sentence. So you said that some people think this, I agree with them, while other people think that. I just thought that was a little strange. Maybe you could have just said some people believe this while others believe this. I agree with the former viewpoint that these people are ideal for this particular role. That would have made more sense, okay? It would have been a better way to structure this. But including all those different ideas into that one sentence is just a little cumbersome, okay? All right, fine. So the reason why people who have faced jail in their life should talk to the young children about the consequences of committing a crime. Okay, you've got some grammar issues here. The reason why people who have faced jail in their life should talk to young children about the consequences of committing a crime are because they know the hardships they have had to face following their release from prison. From not being able to secure jobs to being looked down on as criminals. All right, this is not a full sentence. This is just a fragment. There's no verb here. So let's see if we can fix it. So from not being able to secure jobs to being looked down on as criminals, even after they have served their sentence, criminals face many difficulties following their release. Okay, that would have been fine. Moreover, prison life, get rid of the. Prison life is not easy, full stop. There have been stories of people being sexually assaulted by their cellmates, uh, which leads to a negative impact mentally. And this is extremely difficult to overcome. So this had some awkwardness. You had these two relative clauses here. This one didn't want which. This one didn't want that. It wanted which. And then having two like that together was just rather strange. So I fixed it. Now, here's the problem with this paragraph, though. The problem is actually related to task achievement. So you're telling me the hardships that criminals face, but that doesn't explain to me why this particular experience makes them the best people to teach young kids about crime. So you just said that they will talk about the consequences. Okay, well, why is that helpful? I mean, why do young children benefit from this? And in fact, why do they benefit from this more than they would from any other speaker about this kind of thing? So this for me was missing here. You didn't connect it to the topic, which is why are they the best people? Okay, this is supposed to be the idea that you carry throughout your essay. And so I would have liked to see that done a little more carefully. Let's look at the next paragraph now. Although it is true that not all people who get out of jail are changed for good and often have the tendency to go back to the world of crime. All right, here you need a full sentence. This is just half of a sentence. You have the one clause. Maybe you don't mean this at all. Maybe you mean in contrast. Maybe you even mean like however. So let's try however. However, it is also true that not all people who get out of jail are changed for good and often have the tendency to go back to the world of crime. There we go. These individuals are not the role models we want our younger generation to follow, since they are the most gullible? Maybe not gullible, maybe you mean vulnerable in their teenage years and can be easily convinced to follow the path of crime. In addition, the way criminals are glorified in the movies nowadays, uh, some, wait, even, get rid of the who, even after serving time in jail, live a sought after life can have a bad influence. I don't understand this sentence, I'm afraid, Sumeet. Um, the way criminals are glorified in the movies nowadays, even after serving time in jail, live a sought that this is very confusing to me. So I'm not entirely clear on how to correct it because I don't understand what you're trying to say. Okay, so be careful with that. To conclude, although there are some negative aspects of adolescents being counseled by criminals of the dangers of the crime world, I believe you can't have but and although in the same sentence. Here you've got but, here you've got although. Just pick one, not both. So, although there are some negative aspects of adolescents being counseled by criminals of the dangers of the crime world, I believe the same people who can give a real perspective of the life after prison and can prevent the young minds from being lured to such dark life. Okay, here again, you've had some problems grammatically. I don't really know how to fix it because I'm not 100% clear about what you're trying to say. I think you mean this. Although there are some negative aspects of adolescents being counseled by criminals of the dangers of the crime world, I believe it is these same people who can give a real perspective of life after prison and can help prevent young minds from being lured to such a dark life. Okay, that makes sense. So I thought this essay was fine in a lot of ways, but it didn't really cover what you're supposed to cover, which is the most important aspect. What makes these people the best people to talk about crime? There are other people who can convince young people. There are other people who can talk to them about how this is such a negative path and how they can avoid it and so forth. But why ex-criminals? Like, why these people? What makes them so appropriate in this role? Um, so that for me was missing. You kind of missed the point here. You talked about the hardships that criminals face, but you didn't tell me what makes them the best people for this job. And that's really what they're looking for. This is the kind of thing that's going to separate a good essay from a really good essay, from a high scoring essay. Okay, so this is something I want you to think about. Also, I want you to be careful of some of these areas that I found a little difficult to follow. You lost me in a couple of places, so work on those as well. Work on accuracy. And I want to invite you to sign up either for the course or for essay corrections with us. I think you'll find both of those very, very helpful. So I'd like to see more of your essays, especially to see task one, what you're doing there. Hopefully we can continue working together, okay? So I look forward to seeing more of your work. Good luck to you.